First contact and betrayal. Captain Maya Chen floated in the observation deck of the research vessel Aurora, her eyes fixed on the massive alien structure they had discovered 3 days ago. The beacon was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, a crystalline tower the size of a skyscraper that pulsed with soft blue light against the backdrop of Jupiter's swirling storms. "Captain, we're receiving new energy readings from the beacon," called Dr. James Rivera from the science station. His voice carried excitement mixed with concern. "The patterns are becoming more complex, almost like it's trying to communicate." Maya pushed off from the viewing port and glided back toward the bridge. After 15 years exploring the outer solar system, her crew had found dozens of interesting phenomena, but nothing that suggested intelligent alien life. This beacon changed everything. "Lieutenant Stone, what's our defensive status?" she asked as she settled into her command chair. "All systems normal, Captain," replied Lieutenant Alex Stone from the tactical station. "Though I still think we should maintain a safer distance from that thing." Before Maya could respond, the beacon's light suddenly intensified, bathing the entire area in brilliant blue radiance. The Aurora's sensors went wild as space itself seemed to ripple around the ancient structure. "Captain, massive energy displacement detected," Dr. Rivera announced, his fingers flying over his controls. "Something's coming through hyperspace." The first ship emerged from a tear in reality itself, sleek and elegant with flowing curves that seemed almost organic. It was followed by 2 more vessels of similar design, their hulls gleaming with a pearl-like finish that reflected Jupiter's light in rainbow patterns. "Unknown vessels, this is Captain Maya Chen of the Earth research vessel Aurora." Maya transmitted on all frequencies. "Please identify yourselves and state your intentions." A response came immediately, the universal translator working overtime to convert the alien language into English. "Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Kethvar, speaker for the Zephyrian Alliance. We detected the activation of the ancient beacon and came to meet those who awakened it." Maya exchanged glances with her senior officers. "First contact protocols have been theoretical until this moment. We welcome you to our solar system, Speaker Kethvar. We activated the beacon accidentally during our research. We meant no intrusion." "There is no intrusion, Captain Chen. The beacon was placed here eons ago by our ancestors, waiting for a species to achieve the technological level necessary to activate it. Your people have passed the first test of cosmic citizenship." Over the next several hours, the 2 species began a careful exchange of information. The Zephyrians appeared humanoid but taller and more slender, with elongated limbs and skin that shimmered with natural bioluminescence. They spoke of a vast galactic community of peaceful species who shared knowledge and resources across the stars. Dr. Rivera was practically vibrating with excitement as he recorded every detail. "Captain, their medical technology could eliminate most human diseases. Their energy systems could solve our climate problems. This is beyond our wildest dreams." But Kethvar's expression grew serious when Maya asked about other species in the galaxy. "Not all who travel the stars share our values, Captain Chen. There is a faction known as the Dominion Raiders who believe that might makes right. They conquer worlds and enslave populations, forcing them to serve their empire." "How do you deal with them?" Maya asked. "The Alliance has learned to avoid direct confrontation. We evacuate threatened worlds when possible and relocate populations to safer systems. Direct resistance only leads to greater suffering." Lieutenant Stone frowned at this response. "You abandon entire worlds to these raiders. We preserve life over territory, Lieutenant. A world can be reclaimed, but a species once extinct cannot be restored." The conversation was interrupted by urgent alarms throughout the Aurora. "Captain, multiple hyperspace signatures detected," Stone announced, his face grim. "Large vessels, military configuration." The space around them exploded with new arrivals. 12 massive warships materialized in perfect formation, their dark hulls bristling with weapon arrays. Unlike the organic curves of the Zephyrian vessels, these ships were angular and aggressive, designed to intimidate. It's a trap, Cathvar said quietly, his bioluminescent patterns shifting to deep red colors that clearly indicated distress. The Dominion must have been monitoring the beacon as well. They used our arrival to mask their approach. It's a trap, Cathvar said quietly, his bioluminescent patterns shifting to deep red colors that clearly indicated distress. The Dominion must have been monitoring the beacon as well. They used our arrival to mask their approach. The largest Dominion ship's communication array activated, and a new alien face appeared on the Aurora's main screen. The being had gray, scaled skin and yellow eyes that held no warmth or compassion. Multiple arms moved with mechanical precision as it adjusted controls off-screen. "I am Vorthak, Fleet Commander of the 7th Dominion Battle Group," the alien announced. "Humans of Earth, your species has been evaluated and found suitable for incorporation into the Dominion. You will surrender your technology, your resources, and your population for processing." Maya stood from her command chair, her voice steadied, despite the overwhelming odds. "This is Captain Maya Chen, representing the people of Earth. We do not recognize your authority over our species or our world." Vorthak's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Your recognition is not required, human. Compliance is. You have 24 Earth hours to begin preparations for surrender. Failure to comply will result in the destruction of your major population centers." "And if we surrender?" Maya asked. "Your species will be relocated to suitable work colonies. Your children will be raised to serve the Dominion. Your technology will be absorbed into our systems. This is the natural order of the galaxy." Cathvar's ship moved closer to the Aurora, his voice coming through a private channel. "Captain Chen, please consider carefully. The Dominion has enslaved hundreds of species. Resistance only increases the suffering of your people." Maya looked at her crew, seeing the fear in their eyes, but also something else. Determination. The same quality that had driven humanity to explore the solar system despite the dangers, to reach for the stars despite the vast distances, to activate an alien beacon despite not knowing what might answer. "Commander Vorthak," Maya said, her voice carrying across all frequencies so both alien factions could hear clearly. "I have a simple response to your ultimatum. Earth has a long history of dealing with bullies and tyrants who think they can take what belongs to others through force and intimidation." The Dominion commander leaned forward, his yellow eyes narrowing. "And what is this response, human?" Maya's expression hardened, reflecting the resolve of every human who had ever stood against oppression. "We don't negotiate with terrorists. We never have, and we never will." The bridge of the Aurora fell silent as the implications of her words sank in. They were outnumbered 12-1 by ships that were clearly more advanced than anything Earth had ever built. But in that moment, facing the first alien threat to humanity, Captain Maya Chen had just declared war on behalf of her entire species. Vorthak's expression shifted from amusement to confusion. "You would choose extinction over survival. This is illogical." "It's human," Maya replied simply. Dr. Rivera was already working at his station, sending encrypted messages back to Earth through the quantum communication array. Lieutenant Stone was running tactical analyses, looking for any weakness in the Dominion formation. Even facing impossible odds, the crew of the Aurora was preparing to fight. Cathvar's voice came through the private channel again, filled with something that might have been admiration. "Captain Chen, in all our centuries of contact with the Dominion, no species has ever refused their first ultimatum. The Alliance has protocols for evacuation if you change your mind." "We appreciate the offer, Speaker Cathvar," Maya replied. "But Earth stands its ground." The next 24 hours would determine not just the fate of humanity, but their reputation among the stars. The Dominion raiders were about to learn something new about the species they had just threatened. Humans didn't just explore the unknown. They defended what was theirs with everything they had. As the alien fleets maneuvered around them, Maya Chen wondered if her defiance would be remembered as humanity's finest hour or its last mistake. Either way, Earth would face this threat on human terms. The protocol activated. The message from Captain Maya Chen reached Earth's Solar Defense Command just 18 hours before Vorthak's ultimatum expired. Admiral Sarah Park stared at the tactical display showing the alien fleets near Jupiter, her mind racing through options that all seemed to lead to the same conclusion. "Admiral, we're receiving reports from observatories worldwide," announced Commander Lisa Torres from the communication station. "The alien ships aren't hiding their presence anymore. People are demanding answers." Sarah had spent her career preparing for theoretical threats from space, but the reality was more overwhelming than any simulation. 12 advanced warships against Earth's untested defensive systems seemed like an impossible battle. "Activate Protocol 7, she ordered quietly. The command center fell silent. Protocol 7 was humanity's deepest secret, a defensive network built in complete secrecy over the past decade. Disguised as commercial satellites and research stations, the system represented humanity's paranoid preparation for exactly this scenario. "Admiral, are you certain?" asked General Michael Harrison, the Joint Chiefs representative. "Once we activate the protocol, there's no hiding our capabilities from anyone. The alternative is slavery or extinction." Sarah replied, "I'd rather face the unknown consequences of fighting than the certain consequences of surrender." Around the solar system, hidden installations powered up for the first time. Asteroid mining stations revealed weapon arrays. Communication satellites extended targeting systems. Even the International Space Station deployed defensive systems that had been disguised as scientific equipment. Meanwhile, near Jupiter, Captain Maya Chen was learning just how alone her small research vessel truly was. The Dominion ships had formed a perfect sphere around the Aurora, and the 3 Zephyrian vessels, making escape impossible. "Captain, incoming transmission from the lead Dominion ship," reported Lieutenant Stone. Vorthak's image filled the main screen, his scaled features showing barely contained impatience. "Human Captain, your time expires in 6 hours. Have you prepared your surrender terms?" "I have an answer for you," Maya replied, standing with her hands clasped behind her back. "But first, I have a question. In all your conquests, how many species have you encountered that refused to surrender?" "None that survived to tell others of their foolishness," Vorthak answered. "Why do you ask this irrelevant question?" "Because today, Commander, you're going to learn why humans have a saying. There's a first time for everything." As if summoned by her words, space around the Dominion fleet began to shimmer. Earth's hidden defense grid was activating, quantum tunneling weapons and shield disruptors emerging from concealment across the solar system. Dr. Rivera looked up from his sensors in amazement. "Captain, I'm detecting massive energy buildups from multiple points throughout the system. These readings are off the charts." The first salvo came from installations near Mars, focused energy beams that had been charging for hours. They struck the rearmost Dominion ships with precision that shocked both alien factions. The advanced alien shields held, but they flickered under the sustained assault. "Impossible," Vorthak snarled. "Our intelligence indicated your species possessed only primitive chemical rockets and basic energy weapons." "Your intelligence was incomplete," Maya replied with satisfaction. "Humans have always been good at keeping secrets when survival is at stake." Speaker Kethvar's voice came through the communication channel, filled with wonder. "Captain Chen, these defensive systems, when did your species develop such technology?" "We've been preparing for this day since we first looked at the stars and realized we might not be alone," Maya answered honestly. "Hope for peaceful contact, but prepare for hostile intentions." The battle escalated quickly as more hidden installations revealed themselves. Asteroid belt mining platforms deployed massive railguns. Orbital factories launched swarms of defensive drones. Jupiter's moon colonies activated surface-to-space missile systems that had been disguised as research equipment. But the Dominion fleet was not helpless. Their weapons began systematically targeting Earth's installations, their superior technology allowing them to destroy 2 defensive platforms for every hit they took. The mathematics of the battle still favored the invaders. "Captain, we're receiving a priority transmission from Earth," Stone announced. Admiral Park's face appeared on a secondary screen. Captain Chen, this is Admiral Park, Solar Defense Command. We're implementing the Last Stand protocol. All Earth forces are now under unified command for the defense of our species. Maya nodded grimly. The Last Stand protocol was humanity's final contingency, the plan activated only when extinction was the alternative to total war. Admiral, what are your orders? You're the closest human representative to our first alien contact, Captain. We're authorizing you to coordinate with any friendly alien forces and engage the enemy with all available resources. Kethvar's ship moved alongside the Aurora, its hull gleaming in the weapon fire that filled the space around them. Captain Chen, the Alliance has never engaged in direct combat with the Dominion. Our policy has always been evacuation and withdrawal. Today might be a good day to change that policy, Maya suggested. Your people know their technology better than we do. Our people know how to fight when there's no retreat. Together, we might have a chance. For several long moments, Kethvar remained silent. Maya could see him consulting with his crew, weighing centuries of peaceful doctrine against the reality of the situation. The Alliance Council will consider this a violation of our fundamental principles, he finally said. But perhaps some principles are worth violating when faced with extinction. The 3 Zephyrian ships joined the battle, their advanced shields and energy weapons adding significantly to the defensive capabilities. Dr. Rivera worked frantically to coordinate targeting data between human and alien systems, creating hybrid tactics that neither species had considered before. The tide of battle began to shift when Lieutenant Stone made a crucial observation. Captain, the Dominion ships are maintaining perfect formation even under fire. Their tactical system must be centralized. Can we exploit that? Maya asked. If we can disrupt their command ship's control systems, it might create chaos in their entire fleet. The plan was desperate but simple. Using the Aurora's superior maneuverability and the Zephyrian ship's energy weapons, they would punch through the Dominion formation and strike directly at Vorthak's flagship. All human installations, this is Captain Chen aboard the Aurora. We're making a direct assault on the Dominion command ship. When you see us break formation, concentrate all fire on our target. The attack began with the Zephyrian ships creating a massive energy discharge that temporarily blinded the Dominion sensors. The Aurora shot through the gap like a bullet, its small size and unexpected course taking it past 3 Dominion ships before they could react. As they closed on the flagship, Maya could see Vorthak's face on the communication screen, his yellow eyes wide with something that might have been respect. You fight well for primitives, he admitted, but you cannot defeat the entire Dominion fleet. We don't have to defeat your entire fleet, Maya replied. We just have to make sure every other species in the galaxy knows that humans don't surrender. The final assault combined everything humanity had learned about warfare with everything the Zephyrians knew about alien technology. Energy beams, railgun rounds, and missile swarms converged on the Dominion flagship just as the Aurora fired its experimental quantum torpedo directly into the command ship's bridge. The explosion lit up Jupiter's sky like a second sun. When the glare faded, Vorthak's flagship was drifting powerless, its command systems destroyed. The remaining Dominion ships, suddenly cut off from central coordination, began to retreat in disorder. But Maya knew this was only the beginning. News of this battle would spread across the galaxy, carrying word of a new species that had refused to bow to the Dominion's threats. Captain, Dr. Rivera said quietly, we just announced humanity's presence to the entire galactic community. They'll all know we exist now. They'll know more than that, Maya replied, watching the Dominion ships flee toward hyperspace. They'll know that humans stand and fight when threatened. That's not a bad reputation to have among the stars. Kethvar's voice came through the communication channel one final time. Captain Chen, the Alliance will remember this day. For the first time in centuries, someone stood against the Dominion and won. We didn't win, Maya corrected him. We just made sure they know the price of threatening Earth. The real war is probably just beginning. As the Aurora began the long journey back to Earth, Maya Chen realized that humanity had just taken its first step into a larger and more dangerous galaxy. But they had taken that step on their own terms, with their heads held high and their principles intact. The message they had sent was simple but clear. Humans don't bargain with terrorists. They fight them.